It started with a dream, or at least I thought it was a dream. I found myself wandering through an unfamiliar cityscape, a place where the buildings twisted impossibly into the sky like the jagged teeth of some colossal beast. Everything was drenched in a sickly, sepia-toned light. But the strangest part was the way I perceived the world around me, not through my own eyes, but through the gaze of someone I couldn't recognize. It was as if I had been plucked from my own consciousness and thrust into another's, forced to see the world through their distorted lens. When I finally woke, drenched in cold sweat, I was more disturbed by the familiarity of the experience than its strangeness. Days turned into weeks, and the dreams persisted. Each night I slipped away from my own reality, only to re-emerge in that twisted city. I began to notice subtle changes in my waking life, reflections in windows that didn't quite match my movements, shadows that seemed to stretch towards me like grasping fingers. The world around me felt wrong, as if it was a poorly crafted illusion on the verge of shattering. I kept these unsettling thoughts to myself, fearing they were the product of an overactive imagination or worse, a sign of slipping sanity. The turning point came when I caught sight of myself in the bathroom mirror. It wasn't just a fleeting glimpse. I stood frozen, captivated by the image. My reflection was slightly delayed, like a fractured video feed trying to catch up. But the horror came when I realized that the background in the mirror was not my bathroom. It was the twisted city from my dreams. I could see the warped skyline looming behind my mirrored self, a nightmarish backdrop that didn't belong. Panic surged through me as I stumbled backward, knocking over toiletries and desperately trying to tear my gaze away from the impossible vista. In that moment of clarity, I understood the truth that had been gnawing at the edges of my mind. I was not merely dreaming of another's perspective, I was becoming them. Each night my consciousness was seeping into this other entity, and each day a piece of them was invading my reality. The mirror had been the window to this other world all along. As I frantically tried to escape the confines of my own mind, the reflection's lips curled into a knowing smile, a smile I could feel stretching across my own face.